Chosen one. You've been removed from lack. The path to wealth. You've crossed a line in the spirit. You've stepped through a door that can never be shut again. You didn't even realize it. But while you were moving through your ordinary days, God was making an extraordinary shift behind the scenes. What you felt as silence was the preparation. What you endured as delay was divine calibration. The lack you lived with wasn't punishment. It was the soil for the wealth that's about to flourish in your life. You've been removed from the land of lack and set upon the divine path to wealth. Listen closely, because this is your moment to align. The old ways of thinking, of striving, of surviving, they are being stripped away. You are being positioned to receive more than just resources. You are being prepared to host abundance. This is no longer about asking for miracles. It's about realizing you are the miracle. In this very moment, if you feel a stirring in your spirit, it's because the universe is aligning with the desires of your heart. Stay until the end of this video and share your warmest wishes in the comments below, along with the number 777. A powerful symbol of completion and universal manifestation. This simple act is how we, together, energize the flow of fulfillment and attract what is rightfully ours. Now, chosen one, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. Lack was never your destiny. It was a classroom. It was a test of faith, a setup for elevation. You were never meant to stay in survival mode. That anxious feeling, that constant pressure to stretch every resource, to calculate every step, to wonder if it would ever be your turn, God saw all of it. And He didn't just see it, He used it. Every sacrifice, every delay, every sleepless night was a deposit. And now the bank of heaven is ready to release the returns. Your new path is not just about wealth in the material sense, it is about being fully funded in every area: peace, joy, clarity, purpose, and yes, finances too. Because the time has come for you to experience what it means to live in divine provision. You are moving into a realm where your needs are met before you even speak them. You are entering a life where abundance becomes natural, not exceptional. Where miracles become normal, not occasional. There is a pattern the chosen go through before elevation: rejection, redirection, isolation, and then revelation. And you, chosen one, have gone through each of these phases with resilience and grace. You were left out so you could be lifted up. You were hidden so your unveiling would be divine. You were denied so you could be defined by destiny, not by opinion. Lack tried to label you, but God just used it as a launch pad. This path you're on, it's not random, it's royal. You've been drafted into divine wealth because you passed the tests of lack. You kept sowing in barren land. You kept giving when you had little. You kept believing when there was no evidence. And now the evidence is about to flood in. Your days of just enough are being replaced with more than enough. You've graduated from survival to significance. This is your season to walk into rooms prepared for you. Conversations are being had about you in places your feet haven't even touched yet. Someone somewhere is holding a blessing that has your name on it. Wealth is coming not as a surprise, but as a divine response. And you don't have to chase it. No, chosen one. It is coming to find you. Let go of the guilt you've attached to desiring more. You've been told to be content, to stay humble, to avoid dreaming too big. But let me remind you, there's nothing humble about shrinking what God is expanding. There's nothing holy about hiding the gifts heaven placed inside you. The path to wealth begins with accepting that you are worthy. not because you've been perfect, but because you've been prepared. Every hardship that tried to crush you has now become the foundation for your rise. What was taken from you will be returned sevenfold. You're about to understand why they doubted you, because they couldn't see the fullness of what God was building in secret. Your story is not just changing, it's becoming a blueprint for others to follow. Wealth is not a destination, it's a frequency. It's a vibration of trust, of alignment, of divine obedience. And you, chosen one, are now vibrating at a higher level. You're no longer attracting chaos, you're attracting clarity. You're no longer entertaining confusion, you're magnetizing peace. And that peace will bring provision like never before. Take a moment to breathe, to pause, to feel the truth in these words. You've left the old land behind. You're not renting this miracle. You're being given the deed. The days of begging are over. The days of watching others eat while you hunger are behind you. You've been seated at the table. And not just any table. The table that was prepared for you in the presence of your enemies. The table that overflowed because you refused to give up. There is a fresh wind blowing on your life. A wind that removes residue, repositions purpose, and restores everything that was stolen in lack. You will no longer wear the identity of someone trying to survive. You will wear the robe of someone who has been sustained, sent, and now secured in destiny. No more questioning if it's your turn. No more rehearsing your past pain. The shift has already happened. And now, wealth is your reality. Everything in your atmosphere is changing to accommodate this new level. You'll notice the people who once fit no longer match your frequency. Don't grieve their departure. Their absence is proof that your vibration has evolved. You'll see opportunities come without you chasing them. You'll witness favor follow you into rooms where your name was once unknown. You are no longer living in the mindset of waiting. You're moving in the confidence of receiving. Chosen one, there's a reason you've been feeling different lately. You can't explain it fully, but deep down, something shifted. Something within you said, I can't go back. You looked around at old patterns, old places, old mindsets, and they simply no longer felt like home. That's not confusion. That's confirmation. You've been spiritually relocated. The land of lack taught you what no mentor could teach. It showed you who you are under pressure, who you are when nothing is working, and who you are when all you can do is believe. That lesson is priceless. But now, that season is over. You've paid your tuition in tears, sacrifice, and surrender. Now, wealth is your reward. Wealth not just in money, but in access, insight, wisdom, health, divine relationships, and joyful purpose. The path you're now walking isn't paved with desperation. It's paved with divine design. Even your delays were divine detours. Even your losses were reroutes into greater territory. There is something uniquely royal about how you've moved in silence. You didn't complain publicly. You didn't curse your circumstances. You carried the weight quietly and still encouraged others. That alone made heaven take notice. This new wealth path does not require you to hustle your identity into place. It calls you to rest in who you already are. You are wealthy because of what you survived. You are wealthy because of what didn't break you. You are wealthy because God saw fit to refine you rather than release you too soon. You weren't overlooked. You were overprepared. Can you feel it rising? That certainty that your struggle wasn't wasted? That power in your chest that says, "This is my time"? That knowing is your compass now. And every time doubt tries to creep in, You'll remember the silence that almost swallowed you, but didn't. You'll remember the nights you couldn't see how it would work, but somehow it did. You'll remember the version of yourself that walked through valleys barefoot, and you'll honor that warrior now walking into wealth with grace. Chosen one, don't be surprised if things begin to shift quickly. You're on divine timing now. What took others years will take you months. What was locked to you before is now opening on command. Not because you forced it, but because your alignment is now the key. And your soul, finally at peace, is attracting everything you once fought for. There will be moments where the enemy tries to whisper, "You don't deserve this." You must silence that lie with truth. The truth is, you do not only deserve it, you were born for it. You're not stealing blessings, you're stepping into your portion. And that portion includes overflow. You've spent enough time apologizing for wanting more. Stop shrinking. Stop explaining. You are not greedy for expecting divine provision. You are simply awake to your inheritance. This next level requires that you speak like wealth, move like wealth, think like wealth, and treat yourself like wealth. This doesn't mean arrogance, it means authority. When you walk into a room now, your presence will say, "I've been through the fire, I've been through the silence, and I still showed up." And wealth responds to that kind of posture. Resources follow confidence rooted in divine calling. Get ready for divine replacements. Where there was struggle, ease is coming. Where there was confusion, clarity is coming. Where there was drought, flow is coming. It may start subtly, a check in the mail, an unexpected opportunity, a connection that shifts everything. But these are the signs. Pay attention. The proof of your removal from lack is all around you. And yes, there will be people who don't understand how you're being elevated so quickly. Let them wonder. Let them talk. Their disbelief is part of your announcement. What they doubted in secret, God will confirm in public. They didn't see your midnight battles. They didn't hear your prayers in the dark. But they will witness your light. You're no longer carrying a spirit of lack. Your words are no longer dipped in desperation. You're not begging anymore. You're building. You're not striving anymore. You're stewarding. And because of that, heaven is backing your next steps. Wealth isn't coming to stress you. It's coming to serve you. It's coming to position you. It's coming to equip you for your next mission. The lack had a purpose. It shaped your discernment. Now you know the value of peace. Now you understand the power of being selective with your time and your energy. Not everyone will walk this wealth path with you, and that's okay. Some were assigned to your struggle but not your success. Don't mourn their absence. Celebrate your alignment. There is a frequency on your life now that repels what doesn't belong. You'll find yourself uninterested in chaos, unavailable to toxicity, unreachable to old traps. That's wealth. That's progress. That's divine maturity. And it is preparing you to receive and hold the blessings coming. Prepare your atmosphere. Speak life over your day. Expect good news. Expect doors to open. Expect miracles to find you. Because you are not living in the land of lack anymore. You've been escorted out. You've been removed from famine and positioned in overflow. And this overflow is not temporary. It's generational. You are the first in your bloodline to break certain cycles. You are the interruption to poverty. You are the one who will create inheritance, not just of finances, but of faith, of vision, of unshakable purpose. The curses end with you. The legacy begins with you. And wealth will recognize your bloodline from now on. Stay ready. Stay grounded. Stay available to receive. You're no longer asking, Can it happen? You're declaring, it is happening. And as you walk this path, remember, it's already done. This new life you're walking into is not based on chance, it's based on covenant. It was already decided in the Spirit before you ever stepped into this physical moment. The wealth is not an accident. It's an outcome, a result of divine order meeting your inner alignment. You didn't come this far just to make ends meet. You came this far to overflow, to bless, to lead, to show others that surviving isn't the end. Thriving is the inheritance. And now, your vibration has changed. It's no longer filled with, what if I fail? It's now powered by, what if I fly? You've seen the bottom. You've lived with less. You've felt invisible. And now, chosen one, the visibility that comes next is not for your ego. It's for your impact. Wealth will make your voice louder, but it won't change your heart. And because God trusts your heart, He's sending the increase. No more looking at price tags with worry. No more trying to convince yourself you're content with crumbs. You've been trained in the wilderness, and now you are being trusted in the promised land. That transition can feel unfamiliar. Sometimes you'll question if it's real. But remind yourself, the new feels strange only because the old stayed too long. You are allowed to enjoy this abundance. You are allowed to prosper without guilt. There are blessings coming that don't match your past. That's intentional, because you're not being rewarded based on what you've had. You're being rewarded based on who you've become. The wealth that's forming around you is matching the wealth that already exists within you. That mindset, that character, that unshakable faith, you earned that. Now, your environment is catching up. And yes, you will still have moments of doubt. Moments when you wonder if this path is real. But the evidence will keep showing up. In the way things flow easier. In the way provision arrives before you even pray. In the way people begin to bless you, not because you begged, but because they're drawn to your frequency. That's what happens when you're removed from lack. You become a magnet for what once avoided you. This is why isolation was necessary. So you wouldn't dilute your power. So you wouldn't settle again. You had to be broken from people who kept you in survival mode. They didn't believe in you, not because you weren't gifted, but because they hadn't seen anything like you before. Now, those same people will see what faith can do. They'll see what obedience creates. And they'll realize, you were always chosen. Get comfortable with walking alone. On this path to wealth, not everyone will understand your moves. You will make decisions that seem crazy to others, but make perfect sense in the spirit. You'll invest in things that have no immediate return. You'll say no to comfort, so you can say yes to calling. But hear me, you're not walking blindly. You're walking boldly, because your steps are ordered. And chosen one, be prepared for divine instructions. Wealth is not just about receiving, it's about responding. You'll feel led to give, to build, to pour into others. Don't question it. That's how you keep the flow open. The same way the universe is aligning for you, you're being positioned to align for someone else. This is the sacred cycle of supernatural wealth. Giving without fear, receiving without guilt. And this path, it requires focus. Protect your vision. Be mindful of distractions. The enemy doesn't attack the broke and hopeless. He attacks the chosen and rising. Your wealth has weight. Your next level carries purpose. That's why the pressure has increased lately. But pressure is proof of potential. You are being refined like gold, not to break you, but to elevate you. Doors are opening now that don't require you to knock. People are coming to you with opportunities you didn't apply for. Why? Because you're not just walking into wealth. You've become wealth in human form. You represent what it looks like when heaven partners with humanity, when purpose meets provision, when faith meets favor. You won't have to prove yourself. Your presence will be the proof. Your energy will speak louder than your words, and those who once ignored you will suddenly want to learn from you. Don't let pride speak for you. Let peace lead. Because where you're going, influence will matter more than applause. Legacy will matter more than popularity, and inner fulfillment will matter more than external validation. Let this truth anchor you now. You are not chasing money. You are being chased by purpose. And purpose always comes with its own provision. The right connections will find you. The right doors will open. You won't have to manipulate. You won't have to scheme. That's the old way. This path you're on, it's straight from the throne. It's sovereign. It's sealed. And nothing can reverse what's already been written. Don't be surprised when miracles feel casual, when overflow feels normal. That's what happens when you leave the land of lack. You no longer just believe in blessings. You expect them. You no longer ask, "Why me?" You declare, "It's my time." And everything around you begins to respond to that boldness. You're not going back. That version of you who tolerated less, accepted stress, and survived with scraps, that version has retired. What's emerging now is the real you, the radiant you, the wealthy you, the bold you, the loved, favored, trusted, and ready you. And soon, you'll look around and realize, this life is not just better, it's blessed. You'll understand why you had to lose certain things to gain something greater. And you'll see, with tears of joy, that the season of lack was not the end. It was the beginning of the best. The most powerful truth you must now internalize is this: your environment must match your elevation. You can no longer allow what once surrounded you to shape what is now inside of you. You are no longer the same person who tolerated less, accepted delay, or adjusted to dysfunction.